Welcome to an episode of Thoughts of an Average Joe podcast. It is Taroy Jackson, man, your favorite average Joe. I don't necessarily, as y'all see, like I got got the jacket in the background, but I don't got the hoodie on. Yeah, it's a Sunday, Um, like I said, I'm just trying to be more consistent with the content. With I'm saying, just trying to be more consistent with the content, everything like that. So I'm recording, and it's forcing me to be more strategic with what I'm going to talk about. And as you notice, like ever since I've done the content, I haven't done an episode with Tyler on Average Joe yet. No, outside of the first one. Because when it's audio, it's it's just a little easier. But with video, you gotta get them there. You know what I'm saying? Like get everything set up. So, I'll probably still have Tyler on more, but with the video, expect probably more solo episodes. And this is another one of them. So before we get started, let's see. Socially thoughtful. Hopefully Tyler would have dropped it today, but the video is going to drop. I mean, Tyler would have dropped it by now, by the time this comes out. But the video would have dropped on Monday regardless. So if you haven't already, go check that out. Because your boy was spitting. I was spitting gems. Also, Juice and Joe would have came out on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that. In life, right? You have to make sure that you take care of yourself. You have to make sure that no matter what, you are your number one top priority, right? And I feel like as men, sometimes we get caught up in making sure that everybody's good because we're the head of the household, right? We're the leader, we're the provider, we're the protector. Everybody looks to us for guidance and direction, but it's so easily to where you can get caught up in not making sure that you take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that. Yeah, especially me. I've always been the type of person to where I want to make sure that people, right, are good around me to where they're straight. And sometimes I will put what I want on the back burner so I can see other people succeed and for peace. But as I got older, I've learned that I gotta take care of myself. Because at the end of the day, right, that's all you got. End of the day, that's all you got is you got yourself. Yeah, you have your partner and whoever, but if you and your partner break up or they pass on in life or whatever the situation is, all you have is yourself, and you got to make sure that you're okay with yourself and you're confident in yourself, because otherwise you can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself, right? So right, Tyler, on the episode where I should have put my contacts in, actually. That's what I should have did, but I should have did this yesterday and put my contact when I had my contacts in. But but a couple days ago, me and Tyler recorded for Socially Thoughtful, and he was saying that he don't think it's intentional, or I can't really remember, but he was saying along the lines of that he dates users because he wants to feel needed. And that really stuck out with me because I was like, I don't date users. Well, back in my sugar daddy days, if we gonna keep it a buck, I want to say targeted, but I dealt with women who needed me because if they need me, then I could be like, hey, I need this in return from you. But as I've gotten older, I know that's not the right way to approach a relationship, X, Y, and Z. But it's always, you know, in most of my relationships, I have done something for the betterment of the relationship that I don't necessarily agree with because you try to keep the peace. You want to be the bigger person. And my last relationship, um, I was gonna make a big move that I didn't necessarily. I would have made it out of love, but it wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. You know, wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. I knew in my heart of hearts that I really didn't want to do it, but I would have made that move out of love because I wanted to be with her. But you know, she knew me better than I knew myself. And she knew that I had to make that move because I wanted to move, not because that was the only way I was going to be with her. So in the long run, I believe, ultimately she ended up making the right decision in ending the relationship because I'd have been miserable out there. I ain't going to hold you. Ain't shit out there. It's cold as fuck out there. What was I going to do? I don't know nobody out there but her. Having to make them. As I get older, right? I don't. It's easy for me to talk to people. It's not easy for me to make new friends per se. Like I can talk to you 1,000%, like that ain't no issue. But to actually open up and get to know you and let you into my life, my world, yeah, no, I ain't doing all that. Um, you have to make sure you're your own top priority. That you stand up for yourself. You speak up for yourself. And I think part of my issue in life is that I don't necessarily stand on business. I will say like, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, like here are the repercussions for doing X, Y, and Z. But when it comes down to it, I don't stand on business. I was in therapy and things are a little. I have a little turbulence at work, I guess you can say, right? It's a little rocky right now. Um, and I was talking to my therapist about it, and she was saying, okay, so after you have this conversation, what's the next step? What are you going to do? Because people can have the same conversation over and over, but as my therapist put it, people don't really have a rock bottom. Like, it's because they will say they want to do X, Y, and Z, and then they don't do X, Y, and Z. So it's like you haven't hit rock bottom. Like, what is your tipping point to where you're like, hey, if you continue to do this, no matter how uncomfortable it's going to make me or the situation, I'm doing this because here's the line I draw in the sand on where and how you get to play with me. And this is where I'm drawing the line. Um, and as she was saying that, I was like, you know what? Like, she's absolutely right. I really let a lot of people play in my face because I be trying to keep the peace, or like I know how I get, right? Like for the better of most situations, I will swallow a lot of shit or I will take a lot of shit because I've gotten a whole lot better, but I have a very quick temper when not necessarily when things don't go my way, because I don't really think I'm entitled or spoiled. Like I don't feel that way. But in my head I expect shit to go a certain way. Like if I do X, Y, and Z, I expect things to go X, Y, and Z. If I work, I expect to get paid. And when things don't go my way, and then now we have to have uncomfortable conversations, it can be very hard for me to stay professional because the professionalism went out the window when you played in my face. And so then, you know what I'm saying, you have to have uncomfortable conversations with yourself, like with other people, with how am I going to approach this. A lot of people have a plan A, but they don't have a plan B, C, and D. And I think that's where I'm at in my life is I have a plan A. And I don't think overall plan A is necessarily working in my life. So now I'm working on a plan B, C, and D. So that way I can make sure I'm straight. I can make sure the people I care about straight. And there's an alternative route to get to where I want to get to in life. Because where I'm at in life, I don't want to stay there. Like, I don't want to, where I'm at in life, I don't want to be here forever. And I feel like after I got the car, after I got the apartment, life has kind of just been a little stagnant. Um, and it's time to really start focusing on, okay, what do I want out of life? Yeah, what do I want out of life? Like, what does the next 2 years look like for me, right? Just me. Like, for what the goals for what I want to achieve. What are the next 2 years? Because for the longest time it was I need a new car. I need a new apartment. I need a new car and I need to get into an apartment, right? Because living at home was cool, but living at home wasn't something that I wanted to do anymore because I wanted my own freedom. And now, in the situation that I'm in, I understand why your parents tell you certain stuff. Why they say, I wholly understand now what my mom said. If you want your own place, you want to do it your own way, get your own place. I understand that now, 1,000%. So, mom, if if you're listening to this, which I doubt you are, but if you are, I apologize. You know, I apologize to her every time I talk to her because I understand it now. Like it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like growing up, I feel like as adults, right, we have gotten the raw end of the deal. Um, we're being forced into things like, for example, this whole with the Trump administration, they about to garnish people's wages for school loans if you're not paying them or on a payment plan, but he took away the income driven repayment plan. So it's like the economy is shit as it is. Florida is shit as it is. How do you expect people to make a $500, $800 loan payment when the economy is shit and these jobs don't pay enough? And because these jobs know they don't pay enough, they feel like they can treat you like shit, talk to you any type of way, disrespect you, play in your face because they know that people are out here looking for a job. Now, do they do I think, as crazy as the job market is and it's ugly out here, I just don't think you're going to find gr- a lot of great people for the jobs that you want, because either A, they're overqualified, B, they won't stay there long because I know what I could do, and if I have to be in this position for a year just to try attempt to move up, companies are shady. They'll say, "Hey, in a year you can move up," and then you don't move up. People are shady, um, and I just feel like, right, as men and for myself, we're always worried about how to make other people dreams come true. That we lose sight of our dreams coming true on what we want to do. It's kind of the same when, right, I feel like men sacrifice early in a relationship because women sacrifice later in a relationship. When women have kids, 9 times out of 10, they sacrifice their goals and their dreams. And I feel like nobody should have to sacrifice their goals and their dreams. You can always still work on your goals and your dreams. Like, I remember my mom, I believe my mom originally wanted to be a lawyer, I think. Yeah, I think a lawyer. And then she had us, and she put her dreams on pause. And then when she finally went back to school and had started taking like like law classes or whatever, she realized that wasn't something that she wanted to do anymore. But I feel like just because you're in a relationship, or, you know what I'm saying, you're in a job that you don't want to be at, or you're at a job that you want to be at, but they start playing in your face, so you know it's time for you to move on. Like, it's never too late, as men, as women, but I'm really only talking to the men, to, you know, give up on your dream, but to also stand on business. I feel like people don't take me seriously because I don't stand on business. I'll say certain stuff and then I'll fold. And so when people realize that you're not going to stand on business, then they can kind of just do what they want to do, because they know that, yeah, he may be mad, he may be upset. I'll give him a few days to calm down. He'll get over it, and I can still probably get what I want. As opposed to, if you stand on business, then people have to take you seriously. People have to respect you. People have to understand not to play with you, because it's like, oh, okay, he's for real. Like, he's dead ass for real. Like, he will remove himself from a situation because he's standing on business. My parents had said something, and it holds true for any situation in life. If you have to repeat something more than a few times, it becomes an issue, and that's that's very true. Um, at work, it's a fine line of standing on business and being respectful, and I feel like I don't. Companies say that they want you to speak up for yourself until it's time to speak up for yourself, and then it's retaliation, because it's like, he has the audacity, he has the nerve to challenge me and my authority to speak up for himself. But I'm not. I may do a lot of things, but I'm not about to let you play with my money. Like, that's what we're not going to do. I may let you get away with a lot of stuff for the sake, because I need a job. But what we're not going to do is, I'm not going to let you play with my money. And when it comes to my money, I stand 10 toes down on business. And I feel like this is going to be the, when it comes to, right, standing on business, I believe I have just, with this situation alone, is going to put a rocket on my back and shoot me up to the next stage of standing on business. Because whether or not that I get the outcome that I want, you're going to know to not play in my face. And I'm not going to allow you to play in my face because I work hard. I work hard at what I do, and I'm not going to allow you to let me play in my face when you're essentially paying me pennies on a dollar, and I make a whole and y'all make a shit ton of money. So yeah, as men, we can't let people. As men, we got to stand on business. I feel like as men, we let women get away with a lot of shit, just because we want to keep the peace. Like men, men don't really want to argue with their women. We just want to keep the peace. Like we just want to come home, relax, chill, unwind. If you got a beer, drink a beer. Have a couple moments to yourself. If you got kids, have a couple moments to yourself before you got to deal with the kids or deal with your wife or deal with whatever, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with. And I feel like sometimes women don't necessarily understand that because they have a lot going on too. And sometimes we just want y'all to shut up. Like we just want peace and quiet. Like we get home and it's like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. There's stuff all over the place. Pick this up, pick this up, pick this up. I keep turning this time again. And sometimes we just want to unwind. I mean, everybody wants to unwind. Women want to unwind too, because sometimes they get in the house and we expect dinner to be made or dinner to be cooked. Like my mom, right? And I know that my mom's a unicorn. And me and Juice were talking about this actually. And I was saying that like, you know, I don't expect out of a woman what my mom did, which was my mom worked just like my dad worked a full 40-hour work week. She took care of everything around the house. Yeah, she took care of everything around the house and she cooked. And up until maybe like we was in high school, she cooked every day. Now, she didn't really start bending on that until we got to high school. Like growing up, it was, hey, listen, this is what I cooked. So either you eat it or you go hungry. And there was a lot of days I went hungry because I'm a picky eater. But then as I got older, like she would start bending some stuff. So it would be like, like for holidays, it would be I cooked. But hey, Taroy, like I know you don't like turkey. So like I made you spaghetti on the side, or I made you steak on the side, or I made you pot roast on the side, so you have something to eat. But there's a lot of days where I went hungry, growing up. But I don't expect that from a woman because I don't think, not that I'm saying I don't think this generation of women is capable. I just think that's just something that they don't want to do. Um, but my dad made sure my mom was straight as well. Like any car repairs he handled. I have never seen, I, yeah, no, maybe like I've never seen my mom have to pump her own gas. And my parents have been married for about to be 37 years. I've never seen her pump her own gas. It could be situations to where she was at work and she had to pump her own gas, but also like my dad, like, because my mom has never worked living in Florida. Like the closest she's probably worked from her job was like 45 minutes. But she's had a fuel efficient car enough to where she would, it would take a full week worth of gas for her to go empty. So during the weekend, she needed a car wash. Either A, my dad will wash it himself, or B, or he would take it to the car wash, and he would always fill the tank up. Like I remember, it would be, or he would have one of us do it. I remember it would be like, hey, I remember one time I'm staying at home, paying the little bills that I pay for them, or giving the little money that I give to them. And it would be like, hey, Troy, I need you to go to Sam's. Here's the Sam's card. Here's the card. Go fill your mom's tank up so she got, gas in the morning. I am not like that per se because I will let a woman fill her tank up. Because sometimes it just don't, I'm not going to lie to you, it don't click to me. Like, I'd be like, ah. And then I realize as I got out the car, or as she got out the car, she halfway filling up, like, damn, I probably could have filled her tank up. But I ain't about to tell her to stop because she already, started. So if you already started, you might as well just finish. But I aspire to be like that one day. But it's something that, like, it will have to be trained in me because it's not something that it's in my DNA, but it's not innate. It's not like firsthand that I'm just gonna think of, oh shit, let me make sure like I fill up her tank for the week or some shit like that. But I was talking to Juice about it, and we were saying, like, I was like, those type of women are rare, and he was saying, well, you have to look at it from this perspective. Your mom had a role model to look after, right? She was saying most of these women in this generation, they looking at Bernice Burgos. If Bernice Burgos can get to the bag and use men to do it, or use that as a stepping stone, then I can do the same thing. And it's time to stand up for myself. I'm tired of being everybody's launching pad. Like, I'm tired of being everybody's launching pad to where, oh, I need this, I need that. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I just need I just need to stay here for a little while. Because I don't get that same energy back. And I know it says when you help people, right, to not expect anything in return. Yeah, no, fuck that. I want that same energy back. If I help you, I would like for you to help me out if I need to as well. Now, I know there are some people that would, like, if I were really down in my luck and I needed to stay somewhere, if I really fell on hard times. Like, I know my parents talk a lot. If I really, really fell on hard times, like, I have a hard time believing that they would, let me be homeless. Now, would they give me a lot of shit about it? Yes. Would they be like, listen, this ain't like last time. You could probably stay here for 4 to 5 months, and that's it, max, and you gotta go and you gotta get your shit together. Probably that they would say something like that. But I do believe wholeheartedly, like, if I just fell on hard times, like, I have a job, but I just fell on hard times, I wasn't able to pay it. Like, if I had to live at home and they told me, hey, you got 45 months to get your stuff together, I could probably find a place within 3 to 4 months. Because if I'm not paying no rent, that saves a lot of money. I didn't realize how much money you waste in rent until you start paying rent, like real rent. And it's like, damn, if I could do it all over again. Like, I think paying rent, right? I feel like paying rent, when you get in a situation to where you pay less rent or you don't have to pay rent because you were in like a certain situation, you know how to manage your money better because you know when you get back on your own what it's going to look like. So this is my era of standing up for myself and yeah, it's the era of standing up for myself. Now, some people may call that selfish. I don't call that selfish. I just call it to where I can still make sure that you're good, but I need to make sure that I'm good as well. Like, I need to make sure that I am my top priority. Tyler would say more so like it's his heel turn. I wouldn't necessarily call it a heel turn because when you're so used to being there for everybody, and then all of a sudden you cut them, not necessarily you cut them off, but it's more so like, yeah, I'm just going to make sure that I look out for me first before I even factor you into the equation. They may be like, oh, you're selfish. You always do this. You always do that. But now you're not doing it. But it's just called putting yourself first. Because if we don't put ourselves first and all we do is pay bills and die, what are we living for? What are we living for? Right? We got to make sure that we put ourselves first, that you stand up for yourself in every aspect of life. Because if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody else will, right? You have to stand up for yourself first before other people will stand up for you. Yeah, that's where I'm at in life right now. That's where I'm at in life right now. All right. Um, before I go, Tyler had said something, and let me know if y'all agree. He says that, and it really resonated with me because, like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like, when I be talking, sometimes I just be talking, sometimes I be for real. Y'all know Average Joe is more like my personal diary at this point, because I feel like if I can relate to y'all, then other people can relate to me, because most of the time we going through the same shit. I don't like to call myself, but I do believe I would like to think I speak up for the men who can't speak up for themselves. I don't mind being like, they're almost like a mercenary at this point, right? Like, I don't mind being the person that takes the flag, because, yeah, I don't mind being the person that takes the flag because other men are too afraid to speak up for themselves. So I'll speak up on behalf of all of us. Let's take better care of ourselves, and let's stand up for ourselves. But Tyler said that I make content, like, in the moment, it won't necessarily hit. But he was like, you make content for people that go through stuff, and they just happen to look at it and be like, damn. Like, you may not get it in the moment, but you may look back at it later and be like, damn, this nigga is really spitting like he's speaking the truth. He really is speaking the truth. Like, he's speaking the truth. And that meant a lot, because, doing this for as long as I've done this, it's good to know that people appreciate your craft, but, like, they understand the message. Sometimes I feel like that gets lost in translation, because sometimes people just talk to talk, or there isn't a message behind them talking. And I want to try to be more intentional when I speak, that there's a message behind it. So that way, if somebody else's, you never know, like, this could be somebody else's testimony. This could be the start of somebody else's testimony, to where, like, hey, yeah, that hit. Like, he had said something, like, he was like, there was an episode I did, and I was just like, I wonder if I'm ever good enough. And he was like, that hit. He was like, that really hit, because a lot of men really feel that way, but they don't have the balls to say it. Because why say it when nobody's going to listen? If you don't care about yourself, nobody else is going to care. Everything got to start with you. You got to force people to care. You got to force people to respect you. If you don't stand up for yourself, ain't nobody going to respect you. And sometimes that comes with, hard conversations, hard boundaries. Like, hey, if you don't respect me, there's got to be consequences for shit like that. And I feel like as men, we just let shit slide. Like, yeah, I I keep talking. Eventually, they're gonna listen. No, it's got to be consequences. You got to make people respect you. So Tyler, I thank you for that because that hit for me, right? Like, I don't. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more emotional. Like shit. Just this morning, I fucked around and damn near was about to tear up watching Draft Day, that old ass movie from 2012, because it was a feel good story, and I was like, damn, like we just living in a fucked up world right now. So even if it's just a movie and it's a feel good story, like nigga, they get choked up every now and again. So I really needed to hear that. So thank you, Tyler. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Just it's time to stand up for ourselves, brothers. You can still stand up and be respectful. You can still stand up and be gentle, but it's time to set some boundaries. All right. Oh, y'all appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me. After this week, Baby Daddy Chronicles should have video. Like technically, I got another audio episode for Average Show, which I may drop, I may not. I've been trying to do the video thing, trying to be consistent with it, because in order for me to get my clientele back, in order for me to show people that I'm serious, I gotta be the one. That my business is serious. I gotta show that I'm serious. I gotta be the leader and show that I'm serious as well, and that I'm serious, and then other people will follow. All right. Don't forget, like this video, man. Comment down below. One of these days, I'm gonna get that little YouTube thing like they be doing, like where it be like comment down below, subscribe, and they go like toop, and then they hit the like on the graphic, they hit the subscribe button. You hear it. I haven't got that far in the process on how to do it. I'm pretty sure if I learn, it wouldn't be that hard, but I haven't got that far yet. But yeah, like, subscribe, so it can share it to other people in the algorithm, man. So far my reels are doing well. I got 2 that's over 1,000 views. But I think because I had last week I dropped 3 episodes, that people are still trying to catch up on the YouTube views, but I'm just gonna be consistent, right? And I think it was Gilly, right? Was it Gilly? Or was it Wallow? No, Wallow said something, and I'll end with this. Wallow said, for people that starts a business, right, in this podcast business or whatever, he said it's like 8.6 billion people in this world. Don't let the 20 people that that don't support you be the reason why you don't succeed. Because just because they don't support you, that don't mean that other people don't support you. It's just all about being consistent, because you never know who will blow up. All right, y'all. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube, like this video, subscribe to the podcast. I'm more of an audio guy myself, but I want to do video. I'm really getting out my comfort zone for this, so I hope y'all appreciate it. Love y'all, appreciate y'all, man. So subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube, man. And I'm gonna see y'all next week. Check up on your strong friends as well. It's your favorite Average Show signing off, man. Peace.